Hi everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and a 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States. That is 10 a.m. if you're in Australia, or 1 or 2 a.m. I guess if you're in the UK and Europe. I hope you guys and girls are well. Poop to you too, Smurfberry. Remember guys, if you miss the live streams, you can catch up at any time by clicking the videos tab on my Twitch channel or going to my YouTube channel, which is /Phil Does 3D. I upload all of my previous streams to YouTube, but YouTube is behind my Twitch streams. So if you want to watch the very latest live streams, if you look in the description below this video, if you're watching on YouTube, you will find a link to my Twitch channel. Remember too, if you want to join the Phil Does 3D Discord server, you can type !Discord in Twitch chat at any time, or go to the About Me section on my Twitch channel and look for a blue graphic in the panels. Yo, Adaptive! How are you? I hope you're good. And you, Smurfberry. Bad, Smurfberry. Bad. Making me say poop. Or making me type poop and say poop. I realised that we're supposed to be doing a Just Chat stream today, which we can do. I still do have Unreal open in the background and Max open, so we can do some work in that as well. We can do both. Why not? Because I forgot to set my my title on Twitch to Just Chat. I think I'm still in the art category, so. Hey Euro! You just did it again, I know. It's all Smurfberry's fault. So yeah, we can do both. We can do a Just Chat and a bit of art. Why not? I hope all you guys and girls are well. So yes, we're going to Just Chat, and we are also going to do some work on a game called The House in the Hollow, which you can wishlist on Steam right now. If you are watching on YouTube, look in the description below the video for a link to the Steam store page. If you're on Twitch, go to the About Me section and you'll find a graphic that'll take you to the Steam store page. So, Elon Musk buying Twitter. How do we all feel about that? You guys know I don't like social media anyway, so I do have a Twitter account, but I only use it for streaming. I don't have a personal account on Facebook or Twitter. Because they're both evil. Social media is evil. Oh, you think it's awesome? You think it's awesome that Elon Musk bought Twitter? I think it's terrible. I don't know what he's going on about with free speech, but yeah, I don't think it's good. I'm sorry, but I don't. Yura says, the amount of streaking on Twitter the past 48 hours has been glorious. Well, you know what those Twitter trolls are like. Almost as bad as those Reddit trolls. Yes, no, I don't think it's good. I think Mr. Musk is, well, I said it yesterday, I call him a wanker, and you guys probably don't know what that is because it's Australian slang. But an idiot, a bit of a scumbag. Sorry, Mr. Musk. I mean, you know, your electric cars, wonderful. SpaceX, wonderful. You as a person, not so much. Yura says that Twitter has been controlled by government censors for the past God knows how long. Oh. So you think it's a good thing? You think this free speech thing is good, do you, Euro? Smurf says he should shut up and stay in his own lane, which is engineering. I would not disagree. I think he's probably a great engineer, and like I said, Tesla and SpaceX have been incredibly successful for him. It's why he is the richest man in the world, which I thought Mr. Bezos was, but yeah, apparently it's Mr. Musk, depending on which news report you hear at which time. I would agree. He should stick to those two things. This Twitter buying business, I don't know where he's coming from with that. I don't know why he's doing it. I mean, $44 billion US for Twitter. Man, what a waste of money. Yuri says, hopefully he will liberate it from the influence. Oh, look. It's a fine line between free speech and hate speech, okay? So long as Twitter doesn't turn into a complete hate speech fest. Yura says, I'm all for lawful conversation, which has been harder and harder to do on Twitter without being brigaded by whichever wing of society. You're still going to get that. That's not going to change with Musk buying Twitter. You're still going to get your Twitter trolls. They're still going to have your sections that are going to go after people. Anyway, I don't like any social media. I think it's all terrible. And like I said, the only reason I have my Twitter account, the Phil Does 3D one, no personal ones, is simply to advertise my Twitch channel. Nothing more. And I hate it. I hate social media so much. Anyway, and I won't go anywhere near TikTok. Man, don't get me started on TikTok. Wow. Anyway, Phil should shut up before he gets himself in trouble, I think. So, what are we going to do? Smurf says, did I tell you guys I made an Instagram account and it got locked for suspicious behaviour immediately? Is that true, or are you just trolling, Smurfberry? So, if it's true, Smurf says he made an Instagram account and it got locked. Smurf says, probably my ad blocker or weird browser setup. I did have an Instagram account set up for the game, but I haven't posted to it for a long time. Again, Instagram's owned by Facebook now. Never used to be. Oh, Smurf says, no, it seriously happened. I decided to finally cave in and make one so I could more easily share with my local photography group. Because that's where everyone is. Yeah, well, that's what Instagram's all about. It's all about photos and video. Sharing pictures of your food and all that sort of jazz. Which I've never understood. I've said to you guys before, why do people take pictures of their food and post it on Instagram? What the hell is that all about? Am I just old? What? I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't care what you're eating. I don't want to see a picture of what food you've got in front of you. Get a life. Jeez. Nero says, I avoid all Facebook Meta-associated websites. Yeah, it's probably not a bad thing. I actually remember I read an article this morning where there's a lot of Facebook employees, Meta employees, we should call them now. It's not called Facebook anymore. Meta employees who are very disillusioned with Mr. Zuckerberg because he seems to be apparently obsessed with the metaverse. So there's no direction at the company or something along those lines. I don't know. Was there ever any real direction at Facebook? I mean, Smurf says it's probably some baser human instinct. Maybe. We're talking about the food pictures. Yeah, I don't know. The good food is here. Spread the word. Well, maybe, I guess. You go to a cafe, you like what you see, what they give you on your plate, so you take a picture of it and say, look, this is what you can get if you come here and it's good. Maybe. I don't know. You young'uns these days, I just don't get you. I don't get it all. Look, I'm in charge of marketing for the game, so I do get it, really. I'm being a bit facetious. I do get it. I do understand the power of social media. Doesn't mean I like it though. Euro says, who needs a spy agency when people post their entire lives on Facebook? This is exactly right. And again, I've said this before as well. I mean, if a service is free, you are the product and they're making money on you. So don't think that because you don't have to pay to use Facebook or Twitter, although there are rumours now that Mr. Musk has bought Twitter that they're going to start charging for it. Who knows? Good luck with that. Twitter has never made any money as a company, so they're not going to get people to pay for it. Yeah, you're the product. They make money off your data. So by funneling those ads to you, and selling your data to companies who want to funnel those ads to you. Or just your general data in general, just, your age, your race, all of this sort of stuff is valuable data for these companies. So that's the other reason I don't like social media, because your data is valuable. You shouldn't be giving it away for free. Just for the sake of some crappy little site that lets you post pictures of your food or, what inane thing is in your brain at that minute of the day. Smurf says, alert the rest of the tribe. Euro says, they even know what you eat via your Instagram account. That's right. Smurfery says, Insta wants my phone number to unlock the account. Yeah, look, they all want that now. And it's really concerning. Like Twitter, Facebook, they all want a phone number associated with your account. And we all know what that means. That's really digging into your personal data there. So yeah, I think they do it on purpose. They lock your account so that you're forced to give them a number, which I hate. Like, I never use my date of birth, my real date of birth, on any of my social media accounts. Because that can be valuable information for anyone, particularly hackers and stuff. So, yep. If they want a date of birth, yeah, sure, I'll give you a date of birth, but it's not my real one. But they all want numbers, phone numbers. And actually, Musk is making noises about Twitter, saying that he wants to make sure that everybody that is on Twitter is a verified real person. So how he's going to do that, who knows? He says he wants to do it to stop spam bots, but yeah, right, sure, Mr. Musk. And as if you're going to stop spam bots anyway. Euro says, they all think I'm 99. Sniper Girl, hey Sniper Girl, how are you? Hello to you as well. We're talking about social media and how bad it is. And Facebook or Meta or whatever they call themselves now. And Twitter. Sniper Girl says, real date of birth? How long ago was Noah's flood? Well, this is it. I can't give them my real date of birth because, you know, it breaks their website. Doesn't go back that far. Doesn't count back that far. Smurf says, I wouldn't be surprised if that was true. That was immediately locked for suspicious reasons because I signed up with no phone number. Let me put my tinfoil hat back on. I really do think that they do these things on purpose, like lock your accounts for suspicious behaviour to force you to give them your number. Because your phone number is incredibly valuable to them. They can do all sorts of nefarious tracking of you and your information via your phone number. Okay, I'll take my tinfoil hat back off now. Abigail says, I'm doing good. You? Yes, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Smurf says, or I might just have fudged up the reCAPTCHA because my ad blocker wasn't configured to allow the reCAPTCHA script. Oops. Yes. Yes, we all love ad blockers because there's too much advertising on the internet now. It's getting as bad as free-to-air TV where, you know, you've got 5 minutes of a movie and 15 minutes of ads. I don't know what it's like for you guys in the United States, but free-to-air television in this country is terrible. Literally, you will watch like 5 minutes of a movie and then you'll get 10 minutes of ads. It's just awful. But who watches TV anymore anyway? Euro says it's like on YouTube with some sensitive videos. They ask you to verify either with your phone number or your credit card. Like GTFO with that. Yeah, I would never... Look, my credit card, that information I give to very, very few companies because I don't trust any of them. And I certainly wouldn't give it to Meta. But I've never come across that on YouTube. I don't think I've given YouTube my phone number. I've had a YouTube account for like over 10 years. And I don't recall ever giving them my phone number, and they certainly don't have my credit card. But see, I don't pay for any subscription services through Google, so maybe that's the reason. Oh, well, that's not quite true because I do have whatever Google call their cloud service. I have an account with them for that. But I think they might have my credit card. The business credit card, not my personal one anyway. Smurf says, by the way, but anyway, I could spin up another email address. I've got up to 100 email addresses on my domain and try a new Insta account. Well, see, that's the benefit of having your own website. You can set up as many email aliases as you want. And there are free services anyway, like mail.com. They let you set up aliases too for free, if you don't want to pay for a website. But I encourage you all, if you are into doing design work or 3D work and you want to promote yourself, get yourself a website. It's a really great way to put your portfolio up online. I mean, you've got to pay for it, fair enough. there are things like ArtStation which you can use for your portfolio, and they're all good too. But you know, I have domains that are specific to me, like philipfair.com, which is my name, or phildoes3d.com, which is the Twitter website. They're really useful things to have, because you do all sorts of really cool stuff having your own server set up. But again, if you're on a budget, a tight budget, ArtStation is great to show your work off on. Smurf says, but I'm sure my IP address is flagged too as part of whatever automated thing triggered. Yeah, they will be recording your IP for sure. For sure. And if it does look suspicious, like you're trying to do something you shouldn't be with the same IP address, they will suspend your account or eventually ban it. And that would be bad, particularly if you have like a static IP address with your ISP. If they ban it, then you're in trouble, because trying to get through to anybody, any real person at either Meta or Twitter or any of those social media networks is next to impossible. Sniper Girl says policies change depending on country. I wasn't aware of that. I thought because they were all US centered, that whatever policies they had over it for you guys, they have everywhere. Smurf says, I can put all the uncensored titties I want on my domain and ArtStation can't stop me. That's exactly right. Although you have to be careful if you do have your own domain and you're renting your server through another company. Sometimes those other companies do have restrictions on what sort of stuff you can host on their servers. So even if you're paying for it, there are still restrictions in place. Unless you're actually just running it directly off your own machine, which you can do as well. You don't need to go to a hosting company. You can run it all from your own computer, in which case you are correct. You can put whatever you want online. Android Lust. Hey, Android Lust, it's good to see you. We're meant to be having a Just Chat stream today, which is what we're doing at the moment, but I didn't change my my category on Twitch, so I thought we might do some Just Chat, and we might do a little bit of work, and, you know, we'll do both. But it's good to see you, Android Lust. Smurf says, I couldn't even make a single post. Let them ban the IP. An empty account isn't a problem for me, just an annoyance. Fair enough. Yuri says, no, those companies all have to still abide by local laws, as do their users in those localities. Well, actually, yeah, because in Australia here, the government have just passed a law about a year ago when Facebook cut off our country because the government were trying to make them pay proper taxes. Saying that social media companies are responsible for the media that is posted on their accounts. So, yeah. So they couldn't get away with saying, oh, well, it's not us. Someone posts some horrible lie, and social media companies like Meta couldn't get away with saying, well, it's not us, it's the user who's at fault. The government here passed laws saying it's actually Facebook that has to moderate that sort of stuff. Meta. I've got to call it Meta. Smurf says restrictions. You mean the legalese I didn't read? Sniper Girl says nope. There was a game trailer that I was able to open on YouTube. When I shared it, it asks for ID verification for age. Really? I've never come across that on YouTube. Wow. So what do they want you? What do they want? Do they want your driver's license or your passport or something? I wouldn't give them that information. Bugger that. Euro says, yeah, they do that with some movie trailers too. Wow. I've never come across that. Maybe it's an American thing because I've not noticed it in Australia on YouTube. Ever. And I certainly would not give them my passport details or anything like that. Bugger that for a joke. Euro says, yeah, they do that with some movie trailers too. It's annoying AF. Yuri says, yeah, they want photographic ID or credit card. Well, bugger that. You got to be really careful, guys. Don't give this information out willy-nilly, even to companies like what do Google call themselves now? ABC or whatever? Some stupid name. don't give any of your information like that out. It's really, really risky. Even if you completely trust these companies you're giving it to, if these companies get hacked and these hackers get hold of that information, that is gold. They can steal your identity. They can do whatever the hell they want. Don't give that information out unless you really, really have to. And even then, if I had to, then I would choose not to use whatever service that requires it. Unless there's a really good reason for them wanting it. And just to watch a video, well, bugger that for a joke. Google and YouTube, you can stick that. Sniper Girl says, yeah, it was in the person's country that they were in. They didn't do it. They didn't do it either. Oh, okay. Laws there, she says. Android Lust says, I've never had to verify ID for a YouTube video. Kind of crazy. I've never either. I'd hate that. Yeah. Alphabet. Thank you. Thank you, Euro. Alphabet. That's what it's called. Google's parent company, Alphabet. Yeah, no, don't give that information out to watch some stupid video on YouTube. That's way dangerous and way not worth the risk. Man, don't do it, guys. Please don't do it. It's just not safe. You don't want your identity stolen. You don't want someone to take out a bank loan in your name and, just don't do that stuff. You've got to be really careful, particularly these days, because, like I said, your information's really valuable. All of these companies are trying to get hold of your information because they know how much it's worth. There's all of these algorithms these days that can track everything that you're doing online. So just don't give them the information to help them out. Don't do it. They're not trustworthy. None of them are trustworthy. You can't trust any of them. From Google to Microsoft to Meta to Twitter, none of them are trustworthy. Don't give them the information. I mean, like I said, your phone number, it seems all social media now, they want that. They won't sort of let you keep an account without it. They do have my number on Facebook or Meta and Twitter for that reason, that they required it and they wouldn't sort of let me have my account without it. Doesn't mean I like it, but I have two mobile phones, so they didn't get my actual number. They got my second number. And you can actually set up, you can get virtual numbers online now as well. So you can set up an account to get a virtual phone number. So you don't have to give them your actual phone number that way as well. In the United States you can. In Australia I don't think we can. So I had to give them my second phone number, but if you're in the US you certainly can. In fact, I think Google have a service where you can set up a virtual number, phone number. So do that. If they must have your phone number and you're in the United States, use one of these services online to create a virtual number and give them that number. Don't give them unless you really have to, give them your real number. And never, 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 never give them your license, driver's license or your passport information. No. No, don't do that. Please don't do that. Because, none of them can be trusted. Not one of them. They're all as bad as each other and they're all evil.
Are you ready?
There's a big debate in this country actually about these large companies like Apple and Google and Microsoft not paying the right amount of taxes. It's been a news story for years. You know how these companies operate. They go to the cheapest place for tax in the country, in the world, to set up their headquarters, and then they pay as little amount of tax as possible. So we have a federal election happening here at the moment. So I have to go and vote in about 4 weeks, and both of the major parties are harping on about making these big companies pay their fair share of tax, which they should be doing anyway. They make billions in profit every year. Be a bit more socially responsible and pay your fair share of tax, Google and Microsoft and Apple. So anyway, the politicians are making noise about it, but you know what politicians are like. They make noise and they never do anything anyway. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Did I watch any good movies recently? I've been watching the Halo series. That's actually not too bad. I don't know if you guys are familiar. Halo, they made a series out of it, loosely based on the video games, but not really. And it's actually pretty good. I mean, the first episode or two was a bit slow. Now they're up to, I think, episode 5, and it's actually pretty good. Pretty good. Sniper Girl says, taxes? Why would they when they can pay it? Why would they when we can pay it for them? That's right. Screw the little guy and tax them into oblivion, but these large multinational companies that make billions, they pay no tax. Or very little. They're not doing anything illegal, but, you know, it doesn't mean it's morally correct. Yura says they should outlaw companies not having HQs in country and block them moving turnover outside your tax jurisdiction. Yep. Also tax their turnover, not their revenue. I would agree 100%, Euro. That is definitely the way that it should be working. Governments around the world should be legislating to make that sort of thing happen. Sniper Girl agrees. Yeah, I agree as well. So yeah, the Halo series, it's pretty good. Any movies I've watched recently? Oh, I watched the Spider-Man movie, the new Spider-Man movie. I know it's not so new anymore. It was pretty good. Yeah. I know that you liked it, Sniper Girl, and yeah, I agree. It was a good movie. Well done. Bringing back all the different Spider-Mans from all the different universes. That was pretty cool. Euro says I'd make a great dictator. Yeah, wouldn't we all? Spider-Man, nice first says. Sniper Girl says, but hey, when greedy companies buy the politicians and help write the laws, what do you expect? And that is the problem. Exactly the problem. Sniper Girl says, yeah, she loves Spider-Man. Murph says, wait, you mean Into the Spider-Verse? Yes, the last one, the last Spider-Man movie. The one where they brought back all the different Spider-Mans from the different multiverses. I thought that was an interesting idea. So it was pretty cool. The effects were nicely done. You know me, I'm a bit over superhero movies and that sort of thing because there's been so many of them. But I did enjoy Spider-Man. I haven't watched the new Batman movie because apparently it's pretty much a bore fest. That's what the reviewers are saying. It's pretty boring. So I haven't bothered watching the new Batman movie. Neuro says, outlaw political lobbying. It's legalized bribery. It is. All of these things you guys are saying are exactly the problem. And the way to fix them is to stop that sort of thing. But they're never going to do it. They get too much money from these people. And this is the problem with politics these days. Politicians aren't there to help your country or society or you. They're only there to help themselves. People know this, and this is the reason that people are so disillusioned with politics now. It's because they see the corruption and they see the vice and they see how little is being done for them. That makes anyone despondent, not want to care about politics. I mean, you can't. I don't blame people for being like that. It's not good for democracy. It's really not. You've only got to see what's happening in the world with regards to communism to see what's good and what's bad. And yeah, if these politicians don't wise up and start putting the country's needs before their own, well then God help us all. Sniper Girl says, I kind of like the new Batman. Well, again, I haven't seen it. I only read what some reviewers have said, and they said it's a bit slow. So I don't know. Sniper Girl says, "Zero, that's it." Yep. No, this is. But yeah, again, I don't know what the solution is. Well, the solution is for politicians to behave in a way that benefits everyone, not just themselves. But we all know that's not going to happen. Human nature being human nature, I guess. I have seen a rise in independent candidates, so that's a good thing. Where you have the two major political parties, and then you've got independents that start running, and independents have started to do quite well in Australia, and that's a good thing. They're not beholden to a major political party so they can have their own mind and their own views. That's always a good thing. Sniper Girl says, democracy. I can't say anything about other countries, but the US isn't oligarchy. Oh man. Well, you're supposed to be the seat of democracy, aren't you? The US. Oh, I don't know. It's not good. Everything happening in the world at the moment is not good. We're going to avoid talking about the war because it's depressing enough as it is. But not just wars, but inflation. Inflation's getting out of control. Wages are stagnant, so our pay isn't going up, and things are costing much more money to buy now, and that's a result of the human malware at the beginning, and now it's a result of the war. And sometimes you get the feeling the world is just starting to fall apart. At least that's the way I feel sometimes watching the news. Maybe I should stop watching the news. Maybe that's the solution. If I can't see it and I ignore it, it doesn't exist. How about that? Sniper Girl says, studies have shown that only 10% of the decisions are in favour of the people. What a surprise. I'm surprised it's as high as 10%. Euro says, sometimes independents are and sometimes they aren't. Many are aligned to larger parties but do not disclose it. Well, yeah, we're sort of got that in this country as well, but they do disclose it. I think they have to legally here. Like we have Labor, which are like the Democrats in the US, and we have Liberals, which are like the Republicans, and we have what they call Nationals, which are aligned with the Liberal Party, so they're like Republicans. And then we have the Green Party, which are, they're green, so they're all for the environment, and they tend to align with the Labor Party, which are like the Democrats. So yeah. Yeah, I know. They do tend to align. Not all the time on everything though. So, because that's the problem with the major parties. I mean, if the party comes out with a policy on immigration, let's say, well then everyone in that party, whether they agree with that policy or not, have to toe that line because that's the official policy of the party. So. Whereas independents don't necessarily need to do that, so they can have their own opinion. Euro says we have local elections at the moment. Ah, okay, yeah. Well, like I said, we've got a major federal election, which is for our Prime Minister. It's happening in about 4 weeks' time. It's been called, so I will be going out and voting in 4 weeks for our major Prime Minister, for our overarching federal Prime Minister. Like your president in the US. Sniper Girl says 90% goes to the people that donate to them. That's exactly right. Yura says I don't watch MSM. It's full of lies. Whichever way their owner aligns defines their reporting bias. What's MSM? I know MSNBC. We get that. I get that channel, and that is very Democratic focused. I've noticed. Whereas, what do they call it? Fox News, that's very Republican focused. Sniper Girl says, holy crap, the official malware numbers is 990,000 people died in the US due to malware. We're doing great. Nearly 1 million people, hey? Wow. I think the world number is, around 6 million, I think. But they reckon that's really underreported. They think it's much higher than that. So yeah, I think the world number is around 6 million people have died, which is a lot of people to have passed away. Particularly now that they seem to, like I said, they throw their hands up in the air and say it's all too hard, we don't want to deal with it, so let everyone get COVID, which I think is terrible. But anyway, we do have vaccines now, I guess, so that's something. Sniper Girl says, I watch news online. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys do that. I tend to watch my news on TV. I'm still old school that way. I know a lot of people get their news through social media, which is dreadful because social media news is just not informed news. But I know a lot of people get their news that way. Or online, in some way, shape or form. YouTube, a lot of people watch YouTube for the news. Sniper Girl says mainstream news isn't reliable. Oh. social media news is less reliable, guys. I mean, I know you guys think that mainstream is not reliable, and I'm not saying it is. I mean, I'm sure it's not, but it's much more reliable than getting your news from social media. Please don't get your news from social media. Yura says mainstream media. MSM mainstream media. Okay. This is an interesting phenomenon that's happened in the last, say, 10 years, I guess. This idea that people have now that mainstream media is unreliable or pushes a political line or lies. I don't necessarily agree with that. I'm the first one to put my tinfoil hat on, don't worry, but I see the way news organisations twist things. I see that. Like I said, where Fox News is very Republican focused, so they push that line. MSNBC is very Democratic focused, so they push that line. I get the bias that can come through a news channel, but the actual reporting I find very balanced, apart from Sky News, apart from what do they call it? The Fox News, apart from Fox News. I don't know. And I don't get my news from social media because that's just full of lies and misinformation. Sniper Girl says, I haven't heard that abbreviation before. No, I hadn't either. I thought he was talking about MSNBC and just didn't type it properly. Mainstream media. Sniper Girl says, yeah, they gave up in the US. Numbers are going up. Yeah, they gave up here as well. They've given up all around the world. The only place that hasn't given up is China. And they're just about to lock down Beijing, which is like one of the largest cities in China. They've already locked down Shanghai, which is another huge city in China. They're a communist country, so I guess they can do it. I think China is the only country in the world that hasn't given up. But they're having all sorts of problems with the lockdown because people aren't allowed to leave their flats and they're running out of food so it's all sorts of bad things going on. People are revolting because they don't want to stay locked up because they've been locked up for over a month now, I think, in Shanghai. And no one likes being locked up. I certainly know when Melbourne went through it was pretty bad. We went through it for months. But I would rather be locked up than let people die. So I would be quite happy for the government here, even with vaccines, to say we want to lock you down again if it means that fewer people will die. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I don't like it, but I'll do it. Euro says, not just the US, in Europe too, they don't seem to care anymore. Yep, same here. Sniper Girl says, there's a few people on YouTube that I trust online for news. Unlike mainstream news, the people on YouTube will come forward if something is wrong or they make a mistake. Look, I'm not saying, when I say social media, I mean more Facebook and Twitter. Don't get your news from those two social media platforms because they're full of sponsored lies. YouTube, yeah, I don't watch YouTube for news. I know a lot of people do. I guess if you trust the person that's telling you, then fair enough. But you make that call as being for you, whether you trust them or not. But there's a lot of misinformation on YouTube as well, so just be careful. Sniper Girl says, because in the US they do, it's been proven. I can't speak to where you are down under. Well, I watch, you have the ABC in the United States, don't you? I watch the ABC here in this country. They're an independent news organisation who are not beholden to the government or to anyone. They're truly independent. So I watch my local news I get through the ABC, which is the public broadcaster in Australia. You have a public broadcaster in the United States as well, because we get it occasionally here on TV. Can't remember what it's called. But yeah, I would trust those news organisations more than, say, CNN or any of the large... BBC, I trust the BBC, but even they can be a bit biased. Sniper Girl says Fox News flat out lies to people. Yeah, the Fox News is the worst news channel I have ever seen in my life. I mean, I don't know why they call themselves a news channel, because they're not really a news channel. They're terrible. I've never come across such a terrible channel. Terrible. Euro says, look at Murdoch Media Empire. So many news outlets controlled by so few. Yes, and Murdoch is evil. I've told you guys that before. Because I can talk from experience, because I've done work for Fox Studios in the past. And while I've never actually dealt with Murdoch directly, I know the sort of people that work for Fox, and they're all horrible people. So it all comes from what do they say? The fish rots from the head or something. Yeah. So it all comes from Murdoch. Murdoch's a nasty piece of work. And I can say that because he's Australian. He lives in the US now, but he was born here. He's an Australian citizen. He's a horrible man. Euro says, we even see it within the UK with newspapers. One company owns hundreds of local newspapers. Their websites are carbon copies with variations on colour schemes being the only difference. Yeah, it's crazy. Sniper Girl says to Euro, that's the way it is in the US too. Not a conspiracy theory when rich companies own the mainstream news. Euro says the Walt Disney Company owns ABC in the US? Are you serious? Walt Disney owns the ABC in the United States? Wow. Hang on. Euro says the BBC are the worst, complete state controlled in their news reporting. Are they really? I mean, I get the BBC here. I get what they call BBC World, I think, which is, I think, a different channel to the BBC that you guys get in the UK. And they always they've been having stories about Partygate or whatever it is with your leader over there. So are they really state controlled? Sniper Girl says, I'm tired of idiot news companies two-siding everything and presenting crap like it's equal. One side says that climate change is real, it's going to kill us if we do nothing, while the other side, climate change is a hoax, and presents both sides as if they've even backed by the same amount of evidence. They're trying to be balanced. That's the argument they would make. It's that they would say, well, we want to give you balanced news. We don't just want to say climate change is here and it's going to kill you. They want to give a voice to those people that think it's not real, which is just insane. But anyway, how any legitimate... and the people that say it's not real, they're generally being paid by big companies like oil and gas to say those things anyway, or coal. Because you'd have to be insane to think that climate change isn't real. I mean, you can see the effects of the weather. It's just look out your window. It's not hard. Yuri says, yep, serious. Sniper Girl says, yeah, they're owned by Disney. That blows my mind, actually. Because, yeah, the ABC in Australia is a public broadcasting corporation. They're not beholden to any government at all. They get funding from the government, but they're strictly independent, and they really are in this country anyway. The ABC are. The other news channels, like the free-to-air channels, no, I wouldn't trust anything they say, but I would trust the ABC in Australia. But I did not know that they were owned by Disney in the United States. That blows my mind. Wow. But you have another independent news channel in the United States, PBS. What do you guys think of PBS if you're a US person? Nero says, BBC blatantly pushing the UK establishment line all the time. Sniper Girl says, dude, that's not balanced. When one side has way more evidence than the other, that's not balanced at all. Smurf says they have a flawed understanding of what balance is. Then journalists should be biased to facts. Well, this is not... I don't disagree with you guys. I don't. But that would be the argument they try and make, though. Euro says the UK government appoints the directors of the BBC. Yeah, I could see where that could be a problem. Sniper Girl says balanced is these are the facts that studies show. No bias, no anything. That's balanced. Yuri says, "Oh, a new studio." Yes, there's a new studio driver. NVIDIA released a new studio driver yesterday, and I'm pleased to see in the release notes that they've acknowledged the problem with the Unreal Engine version 5. It isn't fixed, but it's a known bug that they're going to be obviously fixing at some stage, which is good. Because my fear was that NVIDIA wouldn't acknowledge the problem, so it would never get fixed. But they've acknowledged it in the release notes, saying it's a current issue with Unreal Engine version 5, so be aware of that. And as it's actually an acknowledged fault, then hopefully it will get fixed soon. So well done, NVIDIA. You haven't fixed it yet, but for acknowledging it and putting it in the release notes, well done. Smurf says, presenting both sides as equally valid when one side is blatantly untrue or violent or whatever is a disservice to the truth. I'm not disagreeing with you guys. I'm not. Smurf says, lies do not deserve to be given equal footing. Yes, I would not disagree. But if they didn't give a voice to these lies, then that could create more problems in the long run anyway, because then people could use the argument, well, you're not telling us, you're trying to silence us. I think that's the argument that these liars would use. And this is the sort of like the excuse that Musk is using with Twitter, that he wants to make it, free speech. And that's the fine line you always run. If you try and silence people, well then that can cause more problems. Even though you're silencing them for very good reasons. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. I just wish that there were fewer idiots in the world. That's my wish. If I could click my fingers and make something better in the world, it would be to stop so many people being idiots. Because it just boggles my mind that people can be so stupid. Sometimes it really does. Sniper Girl says to Smurf, agreed, the type of balance they do is when you have two sides, one backed by evidence and one without, and pushing the scale way down on the other side to make them look even. Smurf says, I haven't opened Unreal in like a year. What's wrong with you? Why haven't you opened Unreal? Particularly UE5. Download it, install it, play with it. It's good. Lumen is very cool. Nanite is, is pretty cool. Yeah, Nanite's good. Sniper Girl says, watch again is why I don't watch mainstream news. Which again is why I don't watch mainstream news. Sniper Girl says, no, disagree. People quote the lies as if they're fact, as if there's evidence behind those lies because the news presented them as fact. It's a complicated problem. It really is. I'm not saying it's complicated because lies are lies. There's nothing complicated about that. But just the fact that there are people in the world that believe the lies, that's the problem. Smurf says, video news other than long form like PBS Frontline or 60 Minutes or whatever is worthless for anything other than the local weather. Wow, I always thought PBS was a pretty good news channel, but anyway. Yura says, Musk did say free speech within the law, including local laws around the world. So it's not going to be a free-for-all like some people are having panic attacks over. He did call it the town square. I mean, if you describe it as the town square, that generally means, well, anyone can say anything at any time. I hope he is true to his word and he does follow the local laws. Yeah, I really do. Because I don't want to see I don't want to see more hate speech. There's enough hate speech out there now. Smurf says 30 topics in 20 minutes with 10 minutes of ads. That means most of the topics covered on the evening news are given less than 60 seconds. Yeah, I've noticed that with the BBC actually. They move on from story to story pretty quickly. Like, they will cut a speaker off mid-sentence to move on to the next story. Sniper Girl says, say if one side says the sky is blue and the other side says the sky is pink. Do you really think the news should even indulge the idiots that say the sky is pink or just ignore them? I don't disagree with you guys. If it was me running the news channel, I would ignore them. they would argue that they need to show a balance. They need to give a voice to these idiots, these liars, because that's balanced news. I don't agree, but that's the way they think. And yeah, I think that they're worried that if they try and silence these idiots, these liars, that gives them more voice and more power with idiots in the world who believe them. To say, I mean, this is a line that President Trump used. You got to look at the election. Let's look at you guys in the United States with the election, where the story from the Republican Party is your election was stolen, that it was corrupt and stolen, that Trump should have won. That is a lie. But if you try and stop news from reporting that lie, that Trump is saying this stuff or Republicans are saying this stuff, then that just throws more fuel on the fire of all of those idiots that do believe that the election was stolen. Then they can say, well, look, we're trying to be silenced. There must be something to this because the news aren't talking about it. So you can't win either way. I mean, it's that's why I said it's really complicated and really, I don't know what the solution is. This fake news thing, which Mr. Trump likes to use a lot as well. Well, if anyone's throwing fake news around, it's the Republican Party at the moment. You try and silence them, it just emboldens them because it makes them think, well, look, it's proof that, you know, that the election was stolen. They're not talking about it. It means it's true. I don't know the solution. I don't disagree that they shouldn't be reporting lies, but yeah. Snow says, by definition, that means you aren't getting a full view of whatever the story is, which means you're getting a skewed version of the facts, even if the show isn't propaganda. The only good way to learn about a topic is to deep dive. I'm not disagreeing. I think that's a great way to actually get informed, is to deep dive for sure. Make sure your sources you're deep diving into, though, are reliable. You don't want to go down that rabbit hole of QAnon and all that sort of stuff like those people do, that when they get involved, you know, they start watching a light story sprouting a certain view, and then when they start to deep dive, they end up in some cesspool. So just be careful how you deep dive as well. Sniper Girl says, I mean, both sides are saying different. One is completely wrong. Smurf says, it's not lying per se, but it has a similar result. Smurf says, PBS is good, by the way. Didn't actually answer your question. Yeah, well, good, because I think PBS is a good news channel. I mean, we don't get it. I don't watch it a lot because we only seem to get it on the weekends here for like an hour. They broadcast PBS, but or really early hours of the morning, like 4 in the morning or something. I think that might have been when I've been watching it because I've been up. But I've always found PBS to be quite good. Smurf says, like, for example, do you mean John Oliver will spend 20 minutes covering a single topic, comparing that to the evening news that, like I previously said, gives the same subject less than 60 seconds before moving to the next? Fair enough. Yeah, look, I think deep diving is good. Just make sure you're doing John Oliver. Yet. No, not Job. Yep. I know John Oliver. I know who you're talking about. You need to get a glass like Phil. Glasses like Phil, that's right. Sniper Girl says, no, it doesn't. Reason being, if they're literally just stopping at saying one side says something, election was stolen. What they aren't doing is going into detail how there was over 50 court cases proven that it wasn't stolen, countless recounts that show that Biden won. You do get that information though on MSNBC, don't you? If you watch MSNBC, they point all that out. They tell you that it wasn't stolen and this is the reason why. But I have noticed MSNBC seems to be very democratic, focused on the Democrats. It's very Democrat heavy, which is not a bad thing. Sniper Girl says they can report the news, but do so in a way to present facts. Sniper Girl says, don't do what they do and just present both sides as if it's even. Present evidence and show the facts behind the conclusion if needed. Euro says they should run exit polls on all elections with a verification count done after the main count. that would dispel any doubts people might have to wait an extra few days, but I'd sooner wait a few days to get double verified results than listen to mainstream media drones. Fair enough. Fair enough. I actually wish we had electronic voting. I mean, I know that can be a bit of a danger in itself, but having to go to an election polling site to vote, particularly for people that maybe not living near one, can prove challenging. So we have to do it in Australia. We don't have electronic voting. But I'd like to have the option of electronic voting, doing it online. I can't see why they can't do it, really. Like I can log into the Australian Taxation Department for my taxes and stuff online, so why can't I vote that way? Smurf says no, bad pill. But I can see where problems could arise with electronic voting as well. And I'm thinking more for people that, like I said, that find it difficult to get to a polling station so that they can vote. See, you guys in the United States, if you don't want to vote, you don't have to. It's not mandatory. Whereas in Australia, you have to. If you don't vote, you get fined. If you don't pay your fine, they lock you up. Not for a long time, but they do. Particularly if you repeatedly don't pay your fines anyway. So yeah, it's required in Australia. You must vote. And remember, Australia's a very big country, and there are people that live in the country areas of Australia where the polling station is a very long way away. So it's a major effort to get there to vote, and they have to because it's the law. Smurf, yes, we do. Smurf says, don't you all have mail voting? Yes, we do have mail voting. That is true. You have to have a good reason to do it. They call it postal voting here. You have to have a good reason to do a postal vote. Like if you say you're going to be out of the country during the election, or you're disabled in some way and you can't get to a polling station. So yep, no, we do. We do have postal voting for sure, but only with a good reason. They won't. It can't just be, well, I just can't be bothered going to the polling station, so let me postal vote. They won't accept that. You got to give them a reason why, a good reason why. But yes, we do. That is true. Yura says, we do postal or in person. I don't think electronic voting is a good thing. Besides, you don't get it to mix with people at voting station. I don't talk to anyone at the voting station anyway. I go in, I vote, and I leave. Zero conversation. Smurf says, I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't expect the online voting to work out in the middle of nowhere either. Well, this is true. Yeah, I guess that's true. Although, you guys know we have what they call the NBN, the National Broadband Network in Australia, which was rolled out by the government 3 or 4 years ago, which is what my internet's through. I go through an ISP, but the underlying infrastructure is owned by the government, where they did roll out fibre to 90% of the country, including all of the country areas. So country people have pretty good internet too here in Australia now. Not as good as the city people because we have fibre, and I think they rely on what they call satellite. So I think they connect up to a satellite to get their internet if you're like really in the middle of nowhere. Which means I think that the fastest speed they can get is 50 megabits a second, which is still not bad. I mean, you know, that's enough to surf the web and stuff and download stuff. Sky Muster, I think they call it, the satellite. Whereas people like me in the inner city, we're connected by fibre cable. Yura says, we do postal or in per. I think I read that. Smurf says, the last time I went to an in-person polling station, somebody spoke at me like, yeah, we got to get rid of the person. And I was like, cringe. Yeah, I don't talk to people at polling stations. Like I said, I go there, I line up, I vote, and I leave. I usually have headphones in anyway, so I'm listening to music while I'm waiting to go in to vote. I mean, if I'm out of the house, I've always generally got headphones on, earbuds. I'm always listening to music on my phone if I'm not in the house. So I guess that sort of doesn't encourage people to have a conversation with me. So Smurf says, my pronouns are none. Do not refer to me. Euro says, if the voting tech used a blockchain open register based tech so you could see the votes as they are cast, instead of being closed system run by private companies, then maybe e-voting would take off, but there's too much distrust in politics for it to gain any widespread trust, in my opinion. Pardon me. Yeah, like I said, I can see the problems with electronic voting. I don't disagree. I can see it could be an issue. For sure. Smurf says, the horror of being acknowledged in public. Yeah, that's right. I was actually, the other day I was at the supermarket and some little old lady started talking to me. I didn't have my headphones on then because I was actually at the register waiting to pay. So for respect for the cashier, so I can hear what they're saying, I take my headphones out. And this little old lady started a conversation up who was standing behind me. She was sweet, but yeah. Generally, I don't talk to people in public. I don't know. I think sometimes these old people out and about, and before Sniper Girl says, well, you're one of them, they're a little bit starved for human contact. You know, that maybe they live alone, maybe their husband or their wife has died, and the only time they get to talk to anyone is when they're at the supermarket. I don't know. It happens to me all the time when I go to the supermarket. I always get some old dear that wants to have a conversation with me. I don't know. It's very odd. Or I get a lot of old people who want me to get things down from shelves for them because they can't reach the top shelf in the supermarket. Sniper Girl says, electronic polling can work. Would have to be set up where people can register in person, giving them a login and password at the registration place. Smurf says, there's a weird guy like that in my apartment building. Yeah, I think it's because they just don't get a lot of human contact. I think these older people, like I said, they live alone maybe, and they want a conversation with a human being, so they latch on to whoever's nearby at the time. And they're always sweet. I mean, you know, all of these old people that have had a conversation with me, they've always been nice. Smurf says, I'm pretty sure he lives with his boyfriend though. Okay. Well, I don't know then. Maybe he just likes you, Smurf. Anyway. Because yeah, we have I don't know how it works in the United States, but you know how you have retirement villages or retirement homes where if you're elderly, you can go to one of these retirement homes where you're surrounded by other old people. Elderly people, let's not be racist here. Elderly people, so in which case you've got people around you can talk to. But we have the government here allow people to stay in their own home when they're elderly if they don't want to go to like a retirement village or an old people's home, they call them here, which I think is a horrible word. The government will sort of, I'm not sure exactly how it works because I mean, you know, I'm not old enough to need it. Shut up, Sniper Girl. I think they get some sort of some sort of payment from the government to be able to stay in their own home as opposed to going into a retirement village. I think those people that, because maybe they're living alone, don't have a lot of human contact. So I think they're the people that sort of like wanted to have a conversation with me when I'm out and about in the supermarket particularly. It's always the supermarket. Smurf says he's got huge Coke bottle glasses. What have you got against people with glasses, Smurfberry? You mentioned mine. Now you're picking on this poor guy. Bad Smurfberry. Anyway, yes, so I think that's the reason that the old people want to have a conversation, because they're living alone and they don't talk to people, a lot of people. So. You need glasses? Good. Give me yours? No, you can't have mine. Get your own. I broke a pair of mine actually. The other day I broke one of the arms off a pair of my glasses. I was just too rough with them. Man. I did take your advice, Sniper Girl. We'll just jump into Unreal here while we're talking. I put the broken lamp down on the ground. So I took one of the lamps that we're using in the master bedroom and broke it apart. And that way we can reuse the same material. So I didn't have to create a new material. So yes, we are using Unreal Engine 5 now. The project has been moved over, and so we're using Lumen and Nanite. Oh, the other thing I did, I took Hellforge's idea about the glowing eyes on the doll. So we've made the eyes glow on the doll. Hopefully you guys can see that on stream. So the doll was creepy, so we just made it creepier. Smurf says lamp. Yeah, Sniper Girl says nice. The lamp on the floor. Yeah, so that was Sniper Girl's suggestion, to put a lamp on the ground as if it had fallen off the table, which is what I've done. Oh, and I moved this lamp over against that chair, and I removed the light being lit, so it was turned off and not turned on, because we can't have power into this old wreck of a building. Well, we could, but we won't. So I do want to dirty up this table though. We might do that while we're chatting away, because I have it already loaded up in Max. So we just need to load it up in Substance Painter. You see Netflix lost so many, a couple of 100 million subscribers, I think, 200 million subscribers or something. Man, not good for Netflix. I mean, I still have a Netflix account, but I think what they said is a lot of people share their Netflix password. So I think Netflix are going to start cracking down on that. I'm going to do this at 4K, and then it'll cut it back to 2 in the engine. So yeah, not good for Netflix. So it was to be expected. The reason that Netflix went up so much a year or two ago is because everyone was in lockdown. And now that people aren't in lockdown, then people are cancelling their Netflix accounts. Because I mean, inflation's expensive, groceries are going up, and if people start to find it a bit tight, then they're going to cut non-necessary things like Netflix anyway. It's a luxury thing. Nerv says Netflix going to be circling the drain by 2027. Expect a buyout. You reckon? I don't know. I mean, never say never, but just because they've lost 200 million subscribers, it's because they put on 200 million during the lockdown, so they only lost the people that wouldn't have stuck around anyway. You know, only the people that were stuck inside and needed entertainment were the people that they picked up during the lockdowns, and now those people can go out, and they're not the sort of people that would normally get Netflix anyway, so they cancel their accounts. That's what's happening. It's just rebalancing back to the way it was. But yeah, I would never say never. Table. Cabinet. Chair. Phone. Table. Table 3, we want the color, the normal. Really? You're not going to let me bring them all in? Color, normal, and just the color and the normal. There's the texture. The color and the normal. Selfless One, hello to you as well, Selfless One. I hope you're well. Good to see you. We are supposed to be having a Just Chat stream today, which we've been doing for most of the first half. I just want to dirty up this table before I forget. It's good to see a selfless one though. I forgot to show some stuff that you guys posted in the gallery as well. I'll do that before I sign off today because Kamal posted a few different pieces, set of wax kink. So we'll check those out before I sign off for the day. But it's good to see you, selfless one. So, okay, now we're going to just dirty this table up a bit because it's way too clean. Way too clean. And let's throw down. See what this one looks like. No, let's see what this one looks like. No, let's see what this one looks like. Let's play with this one. This is the one I use quite a lot. Let's go into the height. No, let's stick to the color and let's go into here. We're going to turn off the height information and the normal as well. We don't need those. Let's also, I want to turn off the grain because I don't like the grain. And just pull it back a little bit. We might just play with the mixing a little. That should be fine. I just wanted to dirty it up. And we're going to call this one GF table. Table 1, because there's actually another table I need to do as well. Let's export the textures. Selfless one says doing well. I have to find something to post. Okay, let's jump back into Unreal and let's import the new texture. I may have to actually no, we can probably do that. Let's import clock frame table. That's all we want. I'm just going to turn off virtual texturing. We're going to change the material to that one. That's better. It's going to be hard to see anyway with when it's lit mode, but we know it's there. We know it's dirty now. Yeah, we can see the dirt on the table when it hits the reflection. So that's good. The phone, I think we actually already dirtied up the phone, but I haven't brought it in and changed it yet. So let's add a phone on that table. Which one did we do? I think we did the darker one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did the darker one. Going to increase the size a little. Actually, I really should turn this into an object we can pick up. Yeah, I should do that, I think. Just so it's something that's a little bit more interactive as you're playing the game, as opposed to something that just sits there. So what I want to do is I want to, I think, duplicate this. Turn this into a blueprint, yeah. I've got to find it. Blueprint creepy doll. Browse to assets. We're going to duplicate this and call it inspectable ANT for antique phone. And let's open that up. Let's go back to where our phone actually is. And we want this one here instead of the doll. We need to change the texture to that one. Let's compile and save. Browse to assets. Let's remove this one and add this one and just scale it up. So this will just make it so the player can pick it up when they're in the room. And I want to swap out the texture because I'm pretty sure we did actually create a dirty version of the phone. I don't think I brought it in yet though. Frame, table, clock, cabinet, phone. It's this one here. So let's just swap out that one for that one. And now we've got a dirty phone. Okay, now while this is physically correct, you can see that it's very difficult to see the phone here. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to I can do a couple of things. I could bring a light in, but I don't really want to do that. I'm going to change the material. I'm going to create a new material. We're going to call it antique phone underscore cottage underscore matte. And we're going to bring in the phone diffuse. Most of these assets use a material instance, and I'm actually creating a unique material here. Actually, I wonder if there might actually be an albedo function in the instance. Let me just check. Come on, Unreal. So let me just have a look at the instances, and we have the phone. Yeah, actually we do have an we can actually throw up tins. Let's see if we can do it this way. Maybe not. No, it's not really going to do what I want it to do, unfortunately. So we are going to have to set up a specific material. So we want the base color. We want the normal map, and we want the roughness and occlusion. And so normal. Now let me see if I can remember. I hate this, why I don't use these textures, but I use the channels because I get confused. I think the red is rough, and that will make the green metallic, and then that makes the blue ambient occlusion, unless I'm mistaken. Okay, so now we want to assign that material to the phone, which means I'm going to have to do it via the blueprint. Where did I put that material? Cabinet. Where did I create that material? That's the cabinet. Did I put it? Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. Okay, good. So we want to assign that texture there. Okay. Now we want to... Oh, it still hasn't assigned the correct one. Why is that? Now we want to open up the phone, and I want to add a multiply and add a constant, and we're going to set it initially to, I don't know, 4. Apply, save, lit. Let's up it to, let's try 15. Might probably be too much. Not really doing what I want it to do. Why is that? Let's go nuts and go 50. I want to see what's going on. It's not changing here. There's something weird. I don't think I've assigned it correctly, so. Bone cottage mat. I'm just going to double check. BP phone edit object. Right, it's the right material there. Okay, I think it needs to be assigned here as well. No, there's still something. There's still a problem somewhere. I'm just going to bring in another version of the phone. I want to see if it looks the same. Yeah, no, it does. Alright, we won't do it that way then. Let's go straight back. Actually, we will give it a bit of a bump, but not that much. We'll go down to 2. Normally, this is what I did with the lamp down here on the floor. I think it's having an issue because the phone is metallic and the lamp is not. If it was showing up too dark, then increasing the value of the diffuse texture can help bring it up. I guess when you're on this side you can see it properly anyway. That'll do. That's fine. The other thing I want to do is bring in a picture frame here because we need to... again, you shouldn't be watching these streams if you want to play the game and you don't want any spoilers. We need to add a key hidden behind the picture frame. Kamal, hey Kamal says, greetings from Istanbul. Greetings to you too, Kamal. I was saying I want to show your work before I sign off today on the stream. The stuff that you posted on the Discord gallery. I'll show that just before I sign off for the day. It's looking very, very cool. That sword that you're working on is very cool. And Wax King posted some stuff which I'll show as well. It's good to see you there, Kamal. So yeah, we want to add a picture frame. Just going to do a save all here. We dirtied the picture frame up yesterday. I need to turn it into a blueprint though. No problem, come on. So we're going to have to go to how are we going to find this? It's not going to be in this level. Crystal keys, diary pages, general pickups, clue pickups maybe? Yeah, it's going to be in a clue pickup. Let's duplicate this one. Inspectable picture key, picture key, clue, open that blueprint. And then we want to go back to, yeah, and we want to swap out, is it the object? I think it might be the object. Hang on. swap this one out for this one. We want to get rid of... Let me scale this one up first. It's probably a better way to go. Yeah. Actually, no. We won't scale it up. We'll get rid of this one. We want to swap out the clue for... Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Manor house models. Car gates, maybe? Hopefully I did bring it in. Oh, there it is. The gate key. So we want to swap that for that. We want to scale the gate key down because it's way too big. Let's rotate it. Oh, selfless one. What have you posted in the Discord? It looks really cool. I'll show that just before I sign off for the day. If you guys don't want to wait for me, check it out in the gallery on the Discord server. Selfless one's just posted some renders of not sure what it is. Phase shifter. It looks very cool. Let's just rotate this a bit so it doesn't look quite so perfectly straight. There we go. Let me fix the material on the picture frame as well. Assign material. Let's make sure our key isn't actually sticking through the painting like that. And we only need one bit of masking tape, so we'll get rid of the bottom one. Move our masking tape down. Let's scale it back just a bit more. Okay. we'll end up putting a couple of photos in here. Like instead of using it like a picture frame where you have a picture in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple, like two, maybe one up here and one down here, like photographs. You know how we'll have like a rectangular photograph that's just been sort of shoved into the picture frame, and the photographs will be of the main gate, which I can't create yet because we haven't actually put the gate together in the level. But once we actually make the driveway and the gate level, I'll take screenshots of those, I'll turn them into black and whites, and then I'll attach them into fake little photos that will sit inside the frame here. And that'll be a visual clue to the player. They'll see photographs of the main gate, that perhaps they should look at this painting a little bit more closely, and when they pick it up and they rotate it around, they'll find the key clue behind it, which is a pickup you need to unlock the gates. So that's my reasoning for what's going on here. Just in case anyone was curious. I just want to see if there's anything I need to change as far as descriptions go. I thought there was somewhere here I needed to change something, but I'm not seeing it. Maybe when I add it to the scene. Maybe. Oh no, it's probably... Yeah. No. I thought it would maybe been on the clue. Clue trigger? No. Chat's so silent. It wasn't. We were doing just chat, and I get caught up in what I'm doing, and they don't start talking. I guess. Smurf says I'm messing around with photo editing and looking at GitHub issues. Kamal says to Smurf, "Do you have Insta or 500?" Yeah, sorry guys, I get caught up in what I'm doing here and I forget to check out the chat, and if I don't chat, you guys don't chat, I guess. I just wanted to get this picture done. We're trying to work out, because I can't remember, it's been a while since I've done one of these clue pickups. I'm sure somewhere there's supposed to be a description though. Let me just look at this blueprint. No, it's not this blueprint. Not that. I'm sure it was in here. I can add it, but I may have to revisit this once I do a test playthrough, because I can't quite remember how that's supposed to work. Because yeah, it has. It's been a little while since I've created one. Clue pickup. Let's have a look at this one. Set a category. I guess that's right. Just the key. Maybe it's the... No. Do we have an action happening on this? Location. Located. Journal entry. Here we go. It was actually collapsed. That's why I was getting a bit confused. So we need to look at, where is it? Added item from here. So this is going to be called main gate key, I guess. Description. Main entry gate key. It is key. Yes, it is a key. Key ID. Let's make it for. I should have all these listed somewhere, but 417. There we go. I don't think I've used 417 before. We'll find out. I can't change the use action because I haven't created one yet. I can't create one until we actually put the main gates in. So we'll have to revisit this once we set up that scene. The only other thing I want to do here is I want to change the picture frame to make it look dirty. So I'm pretty sure I've already brought the dirty version in. I think I did it just before I started the stream. I think. Cabinet. Where did I put it? It's the next question. Cabinet. Phone. Table. Maybe I put it in here or here. Frame. No, that's not mine. Maybe I didn't bring it in. So let's bring it in. Painted cabinet frame. It's the one there. Open up the material. Frame, and we want to change that to that. And now we have our dirty version of our frame, which is good. So now we want to go back down here. And we're going to add the picture frame probably around about here on the wall. Make sure I'm in the right level. We've come too far to turn around. So turn the music louder and let my feet not touch the ground. 'Cause I'm in a daze and you're driving me crazy. Please can you stay even just for the night? I'm losing my way, but don't try to contain me. 'Cause I'm still running out. 'Cause I'm in a daze and you're
Light-wise, we might just bring it up a little bit.
Whoops. Might just scale it up just a touch as well. And we're going to angle it so it looks like it's hanging on the wall and not flush up against the wall. Okay. And yeah, like I said, we'll add to like pictures, photographs of the gates once we set up that scene to as a visual clue to the player that they maybe should be looking a bit more closely at this painting or this picture frame anyway. Good, let's do a sable. Hang on, what are we talking about? Yeah, Smurf says he made an Insta account and it got instantly locked. Yes, we were talking about it at the beginning of the stream. Smurf says we, meaning Phil in the chat, no. Smurf says it was just chat stream before Phil started doing Unreal. Smurf says it's very ironic that Phil is working during a just chat stream. Normally he chats during a work stream. This is true. That's all. I just wanted to get this set up and I wanted to get the phone in. And I wanted to show Sniper Girl that I used her idea about putting a broken lamp on the ground, and I also wanted to show that I used Hellforge's idea about giving the doll glowing eyes to make it a bit more creepy. So that was the reason that I jumped into Unreal. It was just to get those couple of things. Oh, and to dirty up the table, but yeah. Now we can go back to just chat. Because I do want to show that work off in about 5 minutes that you guys posted in the Discord. Because yes, Selfless One's posted a really cool render. Kamal has posted a really cool sword. And Wax Kink has been working on, it looks like, a battle axe and a gun. So we'll check those out in 2 secs. Let's go back. Kamal says, I'm interested in photography too, because I asked. Kamal says, hey Phil, that painting should be from Rembrandt. We're talking about Rembrandt paintings. Yeah. Smurf says to Kamal, I pinged you on Discord with a link to some stuff, of my stuff. I've got a backlog of stuff that I still need to upload, like all my models, all my model photography. Let's check out the work you guys posted in the Discord while we're here. And I'm going to start with Kamal's sword, because it looks really cool. So this is by Kamal. And this is a sword. Very nice. What's it say? Imperator Rex.
Are you ready?
Coming along very nicely, Kamal. I like the texturing. Kamal says in the Discord, I had too much trouble about curvature part in the mask editor. I messed up my work, especially the blade part. You're still studying on it? Okay, cool. Well, it's coming along very nicely. Looks really cool. Yes, you edited it. I know you did. I'm going through them one by one, so we will come and check out the updated version that Kamal posted. So copy the link. I wanted to show where it was, and now let's have a look at the latest version image that Kamal posted, which is this one here. Oh, nice. Yeah, I like the spec you've got going here along the blade edge. It looks really cool. Yeah, it looks really good. I like it. Very nice work. Nice texturing work. Nice modeling work as well. And we have the imprint here of the text in the sword. Yeah, it looks really cool. Very nice work. Very nice work, Kamal. Shiny. Well, it should be shiny. It's a swordsmith. Do I have any advice? Maybe dirty up this part a little bit more, the handle, because if the sword has been gripped a lot, you're going to get a bit of wear and tear happening on the handle. So maybe make that a little bit more dirty and worn, this part here. Aside from that though, I think it's looking really cool. Do we have jewels here and jewels here? They're like rubies or something. Maybe make them a little bit more shiny. But aside from that, no, I think it looks really cool. So yeah, if these are rubies or jewels of some kind, I'd make them a little bit more sparkly, shiny, and I'd dirty up the handle a little bit more. But aside from that, very nice texturing, a nice modeling. I like it. Looks great. Well done. I also want to show some stuff that Wax Kink has done. These aren't textured. These are, I won't show them all, but he's been working on a battle axe. He has a few different views and breakdowns in the Discord. He's also been working on a gun, which is this one here. Lovely modeling work on both of them. I like the detail he's got going on here in the battle axe. So textured up, these should look really, really cool. This is probably my favorite. I like this. And I also want to show some stuff that Selfless One has posted. Some renders of a phase shifter, which are looking very cool. There's that one and this one. Really nice. Nice. What is a phase shifter? Is that some audio thing? I'm assuming. Audio phase. Yeah. It says musical, say audio. It looks really cool. Selfless One. I really like this. Nicely textured. Interesting model. Look at the texturing work down here on the connectors. It's really nicely done. Love it. The edge where we've got going on along the edges here looks really cool. He's added some dirt through the top part of the main texture, which again helps to make it more believable and real. It looks really, really nice, really cool. Lovely work. Really lovely. We've got a bit of depth of field going on here too, which is very cool. Nice. You all do lovely work. That's the old one. Let's get rid of that one. This one. Yeah, beautiful work as well. Kamal. You're all doing nice stuff. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. No, I showed everything in the gallery. Good. You're quite welcome, Kamal. Keep posting if you're not sure about anything. Like you make a change and you're not sure, post an image in the gallery and we can give you some feedback. It's no problem. Thank you guys for letting me show your work on the stream. Remember, if you do want to show your work in the gallery and you don't want me to show it on the stream, just tell me when you post it in the gallery and I won't, because I know not everyone wants their work shown. Because remember too, all of my videos get uploaded to YouTube, so it's not just the people while I'm live that will see it, it's the people on YouTube watching my videos back as well. Some people get a bit nervous about that sort of thing, and I understand that. You're quite welcome. We will leave it there though for today, guys and girls. It was sort of like a mostly chat stream and a little bit of work stream. I'll be back again on Monday next week at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States. We'll pick up doing some work on the cottage, the groundskeeper's cottage. I just want to beautify the mainly the yard section. I think we might have 1 or 2 more pieces to put inside the building, and then I just want to add a few more bits and pieces outside. Like I want to put that tree in the truck that you suggested, Sniper Girl. I haven't done that yet, but that's what we'll be doing next week. We'll pick up work on the groundskeeper's cottage in Unreal Engine version 5. You're quite welcome, guys. Thank you very much for hanging out with me and for watching. I really do appreciate it. You guys have a great weekend, and I will see you all again on Monday next week. See you guys.